ready to... Oh, hello. Well, good evening. Good evening. Hello, fancy seeing you here on set.
I know.
You're looking very smart. Very smart.
I feel very piggy. Do you know what? There's no heating where we are. I'm flipping freezing.
I know.
I am so cold. My fingers have gone numb.
Well,
so I am,
I was wearing gloves, but I'm taking them off now just for the... Yeah, it is freezing cold. I don't know about you, but the weather has been absolutely freezing. Brass monkey stuff, Rogue. When you put your phone there, can you not do it? Just shake the camera.
Oh, right. I'll just put it down there. Sorry about that.
We have to be professional. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Saints and Sinners with the wonderful Rogue and me, Richie.
Right. I normally sing, and now you are doing the singing.
I know. It's caught on, It's
Can I just say... Yeah. Can everybody hear our microphones? Because last time they just kind of cut out. And so I need to know.
Don't touch the technology.
Okay.
Leave it to me, woman.
Okay.
Just.
The eagle has landed.
Evening, everyone. Good evening.
Hello,
good evening.
everybody.
Lovely to see you. Nice to see you.
So you can hear us properly. It's not very echoey. Are we doing okay? Hello, Paula. Lovely to see you.
Woo! Love you. Brilliant, fantastic. What we're looking for, we got a great show. We got a packed show tonight. We got a ton of stuff to get through. We got some massive expose, Rogue, haven't we?
Oh, we have indeed.
We're excited tonight.
It's so exciting because, we are literally getting hit from the front, from the sides, and from the back.
We love it.
We are being attacked. And that means clearly we're doing something right, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Well, they always say the nearer you get to the target, the more the attacks come, which is great. This is what this podcast is about. We love a bit of debate. We love a bit of banter. We love a bit of fun. Saints and Sinners is about the good, evil, the good, bad, and the ugly, all together, wrapped up with the wonderful Rogue. You're the beauty. I'm the accent. Anyway, we want to say, first of all, thank you to all of our subscribers for tuning in tonight.
Hi, lads.
And thank you for your support as well. By the way, if you want to support us, you can do. There's going to be something coming up on the screen in a few seconds. You skew this, what's the word I'm looking for? If you scan this QR code, whatever it is, you can leave a small donation, enough to buy
a cup of coffee or sparkling water.
Or to get your hair done. Because she keeps going on about getting her hair done. I mean, it's beautiful. You don't need your hair doing.
I haven't had
Although your son did cut it the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, my son had to cut it because I had a dreadlock.
You did look like Bob Marley, though. You did.
I did.
Yeah, it goes to dreads after a while, doesn't it?
It does. You have to
And someone said I look like Steve Coogan. I got this kind of thing going on. I know some of you older people say you need to shave and cut your hair, Richard. I know, but I'm living out in the sticks at the moment. Yes, that's right. I live in a tent, and that's why I need donations. Anyway, moving on very quickly. It's great to have you. We are excited about tonight's show. We've got a lot to get through. So we're just going to go through some of the comments. Paul is here. Good evening, Paul. The Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor, Advanced UK.
Oh. You're the Richard Burton, the creepy.
Creepy? I don't look creepy. Do I look creepy?
No, actually, to be fair, you've lost a lot of weight, haven't you?
I have, yes.
And so you're trying to look after yourself. You're cutting out sugar. You're eating healthily.
I am.
And you're looking good for it. And so we've got a little bit of Julia Roberts and...
Steve Coogan.
Yeah, okay.
Steve Coogan. Yeah, so we're going to go through some of the comments a bit later. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Thank
so
you so
good
much.
to have you.
We're just waiting for a few more to join. If you're watching us on X as well, many of you are on Land Sinners or at RW Taylors, welcome to the show tonight. You can head over to our YouTube page if you'd like and leave some comments on there and come and jump on and say hi, subscribe to the channel. But we want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you for joining us. Let's have a few comments. Do we have to wear
a suit of armour next week if we get attacked from all sides? Well, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to have a beautiful suit of armour. Can we do it in gold instead of silver?
I've seen you in a suit of armour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in fact, I got it here. Should we just show the portrait? This is you in a suit of armour. Well, that's you in your suit of armour.
That is me in my warrior woman Viking fighting suit, ready to save this nation.
Talking about fighting for the country, that's why this podcast exists, because we want to speak truth to power, bring the latest news round up from around the country and the world sometimes. But we got a special tonight, Rogue, haven't we?
We have. We have, do you know what? I kind of want to just show that. Can we do a bit of light humour first of all? Because actually, I just think we need a bit of a laugh. You know, when you do the roundup, when you've had a really shitty week, you just want to have something.
Have you had a shitty week?
Well, no.
I've been with you for about 3 or 4 days this week.
Yeah, that's right. So what I mean is, like, when you're actually having, you know, like life happen, and when life happens, when you're getting infiltrated, when you're getting attacked, when you're being watched, observed, and just put in a limelight that actually isn't really the limelight that you hoped for.
Yeah, we got creeps, basically.
There's a creep. Yeah.
Anyway,
let's put something funny on.
Check this out.
Swap border control officers with GP receptionists, and let's see who gets in the country then.
Only in the UK could you go to prison for not having a TV licence, then watch TV in prison without a licence. Honestly, you couldn't make this stuff up.
You can't give me a ticket. I'm running a marathon tomorrow.
Sir, that's not how the race card works.
Let's have illegal immigrants hunt down sex offenders for a chance of citizenship. We could call it aliens versus predators.
How did you end up in poverty?
I voted Labour.
I lost my DJ job at the nightclub.
Oh, why?
I played the Peppa Pig theme tune when the police walked in.
Legend. I told him I like it rough, so he took me to Bradford.
If you're wondering why there's a gate on the beach, don't worry. It's just the government protecting our borders.
Please verify identity.
I just want to buy milk.
Digital ID required for proof of dairy tolerance.
What vehicle do you automatically assume is being driven by a complete arsehole? Police car.
I imagine London to be somewhat different.
The government calls it enrichment.
Avoid fly tipping fines by waiting for a storm, then throw everything into your neighbour's garden and blame the wind.
Overall crime is down. How did you achieve it?
We stopped recording it.
Madam, this spot is for handicapped only.
I support Labour.
Sorry for bothering you. Have a nice day.
Look, mate, I don't make the laws. I just voluntarily signed up to enthusiastically enforce the violence they require.
Delete that post, put the phone down and come out with your hands in the air. If the police are starting to arrest people for lying and misinformation, I'd like to point them to 10 Downing Street and they can start there. Found out 2 things today. 1, kitchen sex is wild and exciting. 2, the staff at McDonald's are quite narrow-minded. I'll never understand people who get in the fast lane just to drive the speed limit. This lane is for crime.
When I first joined the force, we didn't need big guns because immigration was based on common sense, not political correctness. Sick of people blocking the pavement with their vehicles. Takes the piss when Aladdin starts doing it too.
Please don't ticket me. I'll do anything.
Anything?
Yes, anything.
Will you learn how to bloody drive?
Well, that was hilarious. I
Which
don't
was
know about
your
you.
favourite bit?
Probably the one at McDonald's. You know, you shouldn't have sex in the kitchen. Well, especially when you're in McDonald's, obviously. Yeah, I find
Flipping heck. Who eats at McDonald's?
And you don't like McDonald's, do you?
I cannot stand McDonald's. It's got like so much nonsense.
I didn't know. I'm partial to it. Coming into the studio, I was going to get a chocolate milkshake but I got a double espresso from the petrol station instead. But anyway, moving on very quickly then, Rogue, because we've got a packed show tonight and we're going to get through so much. So where do we go in to start? Drum roll.
Start from the beginning. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk about that.
So, have you and do you know about the brown shirts? Does anybody know about the brown shirts?
Never heard about brown shirts. So let's just bring this up and let's
I
have
did a
a
little
look.
bit of research into brown shirts, so if you can just let me read that, please. So, the brown shirts were that. Now, I've had to try and practice this because literally I don't speak German at all, but it's Sturmab Teilung, SA, a paramilitary wing of the Nazi party known for their brown uniforms. They played a crucial role in the rise of Hitler by protecting Nazi meetings, intimidating political opponents, and engaging in street violence. After Hitler became Chancellor, the SA's power was drastically reduced during the 1934 Night of the Long Knives, with their role being taken over by the Schutzstaffel, however you say that.
Schutzstaffel.
Schutzstaffel. So that is actually what the brown shirts mean.
Right, okay. So,
now,
brown. So have you been called a brown shirt then, have you?
So, look, there has been like this debate. There is an article that's gone out, and it was in the Swansea Bay News. So I'm going to bring it up. So we're going to bring up the Swansea Bay News. Now, look, petition was launched as locals boycott the Brunswick Arms over far right event. So more than 200 people have pledged to boycott the Brunswick Arms in Swansea after it hosted a launch event for the far right political party Advance UK.
Whoa! So apparently, according to this article by the the Swansea Bay News, and it was in something called Searchlight, which Nick Lowes was part of, which we know, hope not hate, is just fascist, racist people who just hate everybody. There's no hope, there's just hate. So this article went around because we did a meeting in the Brunswick Arms, a wonderful pub. We had a fantastic evening, didn't we?
We did.
Lots of people showed up. We had cakes. We had a couple of pints. Well, we didn't, but others had a couple of drinks. We had coffee and tea, whatever we had.
Yep.
And it was fantastic. And we got to tell them about Advance UK, about sovereignty, equality under the law, freedom of speech. Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And democracy.
Another,
democracy.
Like, contention here.
But apparently, if you believe in democracy, freedom of speech, equality under the law, sovereignty, you are
a fascist and flipping racist.
You're far right and you're a racist.
Far right, yeah. You're just everything.
So I think last week broadcast we were called woke, we were called snowflakes, but this week we've been called a lot worse than we're going to come back a bit later. We got an exclusive for you a bit later coming up at the end of the show. So if you don't want to go anywhere, make sure you share the broadcast with as many people as you can because it's going to get heavy.
Yes. Exposure galore. So
this Brunswick one then. So let's go back to the Brunswick,
right?
So petition launched as locals boycott the Brunswick Arms over far right event. Now, the event itself, because we hosted the event, as you know, and organised it, was a great event because we were meeting members of Advance UK in Wales who wanted to come together and just get to know us a little bit.
Do you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's we call them meets and greets, right?
Yeah.
It's where people get together. It's where people can actually connect with other advances, and it's just where you give a delivery of what actually is happening within Advance.
Yeah.
There is nothing frightening. There is nothing, that is far right. It is just a whole load of people who support one vision.
Yeah, absolutely right. And the Brunswick, we went there. It was like I said, a fantastic time. We had cakes made as well.
Oh, they're amazing. By the way, we all ate way too many cakes because Shoab's beautiful wife made a whole load of cakes, and they were absolutely delicious.
Outstanding, yeah, they were. And of course, this report came out because some of the punters weren't happy about us being there, apparently. But I have to say, the article's a bit misleading because we spoke to the owner of the pub and also to the landlord, who welcomed us with arms wide open.
When I'm talking wide open, I mean they actually made everything ready. They caused us to sit in one area and said, this is your area. So it appears that actually what has been written is that they stated they didn't know that we were coming. However, we had to plan it. We had to ask the questions, and we did say, this is who we're representing. This is who we want to come and, sort of meet. Is that okay? And was it turned down or was it agreed?
No, it was agreed. It was fantastic. We had a great night. I mean, some of the comments, because we did some, you did some digging, didn't you?
I did.
On Swansea Bay News' website. Is that right? Or Facebook or something?
It was on the Facebook.
So we're going to bring some of the comments now. Some of the people of what they make of this news item here, Rogue.
So we had somebody say, these woke people must believe in a dictatorship rather than democracy. And somebody put a dictatorship isn't democracy. And then the answer is, well, it is when people start boycotting a business because one group had a booking there and the opposing group now telling people not to go there. The poor loser here is the owner of the business. Think people need to grow up and understand that we all have the right to believe what we believe, maybe religion, politics, or if we are meat eaters or vegan, you should not be punished for your choice.
Absolutely. And there was more comments as well.
And then we had no one creating a petition calling for people to boycott somewhere because an opposition political party had a meeting. There is what the brown shirts would have done. So this is where the brown shirts come into play.
Right, okay.
So then David says, I looked them up. It seems they went even further than a simple boycott. The brown shirts were the Nazi Party's original which is everything I said earlier, paramilitary wing, and they were notorious for using violence and intimidation to disrupt the political gatherings of their opponents. So let's just ask the question, when we were there, were we opposing?
No, we just talked about how beautiful our country is and how great it could be and everything else, and that we should be sovereign. We shouldn't be interfered by international bodies like the WHO, the WEF, or any other European body for that matter. That Parliament should be sovereign in all of its parts, which it should be.
Absolutely.
We shouldn't be, interfered with. We know that Keir Starmer loves Davos more than Great Britain and Northern Ireland, of course.
He's barely in this country.
Have you noticed? He's never here.
He's never here. And he's either tripping up.
Yeah. Do you see him fall over this week?
Over? Oh my God. He was like, hello. Poof.
And his favourite song when he feels down is Frankie Wilson, isn't it?
It is.
It is Frankie Wilson.
Do I love you, apparently.
Do I love you, my, oh my?
Well, I don't love him. That's the answer.
We know you don't love him.
Nope.
Don't go there.
I do
Can't believe
not.
I'm sworn yet. Mentioned his
So
name.
look, there has been then this article that's gone out, right? We are watching it just kind of slightly gobsmacked because there are so many errors within the article.
Oh, loads.
Because you're there just saying, hang on a minute, that isn't true and this isn't true. Now, I don't want to fight with anybody. I, like that lady said in the last comment, I like to fight with you, but that's it. But in the last comment, which was, why can't we just all get on? If I'm a meat eater and you're not a meat eater, I'm not going to actually oppose you or start having, a revolt because you're friendly, with eating meat or not eating meat.
Leave my beef alone.
All right, I have got beef with you, but that's a different matter. So, ultimately, why are we not just accepting that each and every one of us is allowed to do what we choose to do, because that comes under freedom of speech and freedom of choice. And instead of opposing and boycotting, which, I do feel bad for them because they knew about it. And I feel like, are they backpedaling, or is it that there is an error within the article to say that, they didn't want to do it or they didn't know about it, but they did know about it.
And I think it goes to that thing, doesn't it? No matter what we do, because of our association, and we've got members like Tommy Robinson, who's just a member, by the way. Any British citizen can be a member of Advance UK. Any, as long as you're a British citizen, that's it. You're on criminal record, all that kind of stuff. And you're on the electoral register, you can vote as well. You're right to vote. So it's democratic. The party's democratic, right? I'm not here to pitch Advance UK because we know Saints and Sinners is separate, it's distinctively separate. However, I happen to be the leader here in Wales, and this is head of operations right here. In fact, she's leading it. I'm just following. Don't tell Ben. But the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, we've been shunned, cancelled, demonised simply because we have a political view that doesn't fit in with the left-wing narrative, although that doesn't exist, by the way. It's just those liberal progressives that tend to think that they're the ones of the be kind lot, but actually they're not. They're the ones who are aggressive and militant in their actions, threatening venues and places. When we book somewhere, we've experienced this, and when we've booked somewhere to have just a social gathering, not a political meeting, a social gathering, people have phoned up the venue and said, you can't have these people here. They're associated with a far-right, far-wing party. Our party leader is from Pakistan. Last time I checked, he wasn't white.
No, he's not white. He's really not white. No. And, he is a really good guy that actually came to this country, has British citizenship, and is actually wanting to fight for this country.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was another comment here, Rogue, wasn't there? This one here by Sir John
So
Ellis.
I actually like this comment because he actually... He's not nasty when he says this. He actually doesn't agree with the right hand, as they call it, the right wing, right?
Yeah.
So this sort of petition is really short-sighted. Was the landlord informed of the event beforehand? Tick. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Have the petitioners spoken to the people who run the pub?
Good question.
That's another really, really important, valid question. I hate the far right as much as most people, but I also hate to see a community pub go out of business and left empty for the rest of time because of a short-sighted revolt.
Well, there's an irony in all this as well, Rogue, because as you know, we were told, and this public knowledge, the pub was closing down anyway.
Yeah, we were.
The pub's closing down anyway, so your petition's a waste of time. Because apparently, because the footfall had fallen since lockdown. Would you believe that? How many pubs went out of business because of lockdown? We know some had big grants and some abused that system, actually. But many of them never, ever recovered from the government's insanity and tyranny and dictatorship, Mark Drakeford at the time, the Emperor down in Cardiff Bay, of shutting down businesses, in particularly the impact that it had on pubs and everything else.
Exactly that.
So,
so there's always something going on in the background, and then they're utilising it as a story for themselves to push them forward. Now, if they've got a new landlord, we don't know that.
No.
We're not privy to that. We don't know that knowledge. And that's okay. We wish whomever has taken it on, if they have, good luck. If it was just the last landlord was closing down his business there, then amazing. He's left or hasn't left. We're not privy to that because we've now had this revolt, and we've had people just trying to stop us, just having a simple meet and greet where you can meet other members and just discuss freely about advanced care.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was the beginning of the week. It's just got worse, actually. Well, it got better. We take things in our stride, and we find it quite funny. People attack you for having an opinion. Opinions like assholes. Everyone's got one, and most of the time they're full of shit. But anyway, so got off a friend. Anyway, I think it's a fantastic line. However, we have seen this week a lot more going on, Rogue, haven't we? Because it wasn't just the Searchlight, which was another one of those kind of online publications that was led by Nick Lowell's Hope Not Hate, but also Swansea Bay News picking up. But someone else picked the story up, Rogue, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Who was that?
Well, I'm going to tell you because it was Nation Cymru.
Right then.
So let's talk Nation Cymru.
No, we know there are journalists from Nation Cymru watching tonight. We know they are.
We know they are.
Yeah, of course we do. Of course you're watching. We know you are because you're interested in this story because
it involves you.
It involves them. Yeah, no, they don't have a huge following on X, to be honest. I think they've got about something like, there we go, there it is, 39.3 thousand followers. But their X account says they're about news, politics, culture, sports, and by the people of Wales, for the people of Wales. And there's a donation link there, of course, so you can donate to them. So I'll get rid of that very quickly. So Nation Cymru, who are they then, Rogue? Let's hear a little bit about them, shall we?
Just to let you know that they started in 2017. And they have been established since 2017.
Yeah.
Now, they started off with...
I think it was a guy called, what's his name? Ivan, is it? Morgan Jones.
Ivan Morgan Jones.
Who was a lecturer in Bangor University. Now, if you know Bangor University, it's very much a nationalistic, political bias towards Welsh nationalism. And Nation Cymru is an online publication, okay? They're not like the rags that you get nationally. They're a Welsh media online presence. And they have built up a large, I suppose, following here in Wales. But if you know anything about Welsh media, you know how biased they are. If you think the BBC is bad, welcome, or croeso i Cymru, as we say here in Wales, welcome to Wales, because it is far, far worse, okay? They're either in the pockets of Welsh Labour, or they're in the pockets of Plaid Cymru. And it'll come as no surprise to many of you watching tonight that many of our members of the Senedd, MSs as they know here in Wales, not MPs, were actually former employees, yes, of where they were, employees of Welsh media. That'd be S4C, which is one of the channels we have in Wales, which is all in Welsh, like Super Ted, if you remember that, Pobl y Cwm. These are Welsh programs that some of you won't know nothing about, don't even know what I'm saying, but they exist. And actually, the guy who founded Nation Cymru went on to be an executive with S4C. Nation Cymru has about 4 journalists, maybe 6, and they're not journalists, they'd be more like bloggers.
I would say bloggers.
Yeah, they're bloggers. They're not real journalists. I know they're registered as a journalist, but anyone can register as a journalist these days, can't they? Just write a couple of articles and get it published, and then you can be a journalist. But they are literally bloggers. And they took to the airwaves to do a bit of a hit piece, didn't they?
They did. Again, somebody else. But do you know what? We don't expect anything less.
No.
They've been going for you for quite a while, haven't they?
They have. They love me.
In a hatey way.
Yeah. I don't know why, though. I don't know why. I'm just me. I mean, you know me. You've known me for 31 years.
Have.
And the things they say about me, it's just like, I feel like I'm a racist. I'm like, am I a racist? It doesn't make sense to me. But we did some digging, didn't we? No.
Again, yes, we did.
We want to talk about who funds Nation Cymru. Where does their money come from? Because he who controlleth the purse strings controlleth the media. Okay. So we did some research, and this is what we found, Rogue.
You can read it.
Can I read it? I have my glasses. Okay. So BCW stands for the Book Council Wales, Book Council of Wales, and it awards £25,000 a year to Nation Cymru under the English Language Cultural Periodicals Fund. Why it is controversial? Why? Because Nation Cymru is a politically active news site. In other words, they are actively involved in politics. Now, if you look at any of their articles, you would see they always sway towards Welsh nationalism, which is a huge problem here in Wales. Now, I am a very patriotic Welshman. Many of you know me, know that I love my country. I love Wales. I love the language, the music. I was going to say the food. We just have Welsh cakes and they've been decolonized recently anyway. And the daffodil. And yet this, the cakes. You say cakes?
Leeks.
Leeks, yeah.
Cannot forget Leeks.
Tom Jones and Max Boyce and Tom Jones. Great people. But the Book Council of Wales, now that's a charity, Rogue, that has received over £200,000 from the Welsh government. And then they give a portion of that money to different groups within Wales that protect our language, our culture, and our history. So how does an online publication like Nation Cymru fit that category? Well, it doesn't, because they're politically biased. And we know that because if you were to search Nation Cymru to Google, most of their and Wales and anything to do with Advance UK, Reform, not just Advance, any conservatives, Welsh conservatives, any political party that doesn't fit in with left-wing liberalism or Welsh nationalism, then you will see they favour those people. And there are countless articles. Now, they this week came out with an article that absolutely, and it was following on from the Swansea Bay news that I didn't know, but you found it and brought it to us, didn't you? So here it is, Rogue.
So call for the boycott of Welsh pub after it hosted far-right party linked to Tommy Robinson. So it's that name, that hard-hitting name, just to try and get a reaction, just to try and get the uproar of shock, horror, Tommy Robinson. Again, Tommy Robinson is a member. He's allowed to be a member. And so we endorse and advocate that anybody can. So what's the deal?
I mean, first of all, what do people mean by far right? I mean, I have to ask this question. Maybe leave some comments for us and we appreciate that. Let's have a look. Because far right, if you love your country, you love your history, you're proud of where you've come from, then you're considered to be far right. For just simply loving the flag, loving the Union Jack, loving the Welsh flag, the St. George, all that kind of stuff. And you're hated for loving your own country. That's not far right to me, is it? Or standing up for things that we believe in. For example, mass immigration into our country has been a bad move. It really, really has. Look at the situation all around the country right now. I mean, Epping Hotel today was protest there as well. We've seen some more. So we're going to go to some of your comments and have a look because we've got a lot more to get through. So let's have a look. Let's go here first, shall we? So
Nation Cymru are paid to peddle Plaid Cymru.
Plaid
Cymru. Plaid Cymru.
Scotland's just as bad, someone said. This one here.
I hope Rupert Lowe joins us at Advance.
Yes, there's another one.
Scotland just as bad.
Yeah, we know that. This is from one of our friends here. I met a Plaid member at the event in the summer. He was hateful, wouldn't let his granddaughter have the little Union Jack.
Do you know what? I was there. Danuta, I was there, wasn't I? Oh my God. Yeah, that was mad. Absolutely mad.
Someone said clickbait. Yeah,
thank you,
know.
Stu.
Yeah. Then this one here, when the anti-fascists become the fascists. Meanwhile, in Anita, I'm not sure what that means. There was a difference between, that's an interesting comment. There's a difference between
narcissism, fascism, and xenophobia.
Indeed, there is. Far right, left, both cheeks of the same ass. Well, the left, then, the far left, as some have put on here, I mean, they're more militant and they accuse us of being these kind of, nasty far right people. But yet the people I've met in Advance UK and previously with Reform, I met some lovely people. They weren't all, you get some bad eggs in every bunch.
Of course you do.
But they were lovely people. They just believed in their country. And if you believe in your country, you care about your children and your grandchildren. But if you want to protect them, you're called far right.
Do you know, I just think it's bonkers because, look, I as a mother and a grandmother want to protect my children and my grandchildren. It is just so important. Now, because I don't welcome every single border to be opened and, for people to come in that we don't know about, so illegal, undocumented males that are coming into the country that we are now finding that are raping and grooming and becoming very problematic in this country. I don't want that. And is that really, really racist and fascist because I'm not all encompassing? Listen, I love to have community and I love to have people. So I'm like what people would say quite hippie and a bit left, and also really kind of kind of wanting to make sure that there's boundaries with it. And the boundaries are really, really important to save our country and to save us as a people.
Boundaries are borders, isn't they? If you don't have borders, you don't have a country, do you? Let's be honest. And that's why we have distinction, demarcation lines called borders for a reason. Otherwise, countries cease to exist. That's why the European Union tried to swallow us up in this globalist agenda. So we're all one globalist part of this elite, which is not who we are. It's not our culture. It's not our history. And Nation Cymru obviously did this piece because it followed on from the Swansea Bay news. And we, after doing our research, we found a couple of things that some of the journalists that actually work for Nation Cymru, would you say they were biased?
Oh, wow. Of course.
Speak your mind, girl. Speak your mind.
Do you know, yes, there is this complete level of bias. And it's like, hang on a minute. If you're a journalist, you have to be neutral, surely. There has to be this neutrality. You have to be sitting on the fence in the middle and being able to be objective.
Unless you work for the BBC.
Well, exactly that. And well, we've got something to talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have these things that I'm sitting there going, okay, that's fine. You can do your writing, you can do your journalism, you can start talking about us, but we try and be fair. Now, I will always, like that last guy that said about, can you put that back up? It's just that one little stretch. Him. Do you know, this sort of petition is, and like he's saying, I hate the far right. Fine. Do you know what? I respect that. He can hate us, but he's still saying that the petition is short-sighted and he's being fair. Yeah. There's a neutrality about that. And I respect that because he's being fair.
Absolutely.
So it pisses me off, to be honest.
And so the journalists that wrote the piece in Nation Cymru, right, is someone called Emily Price. Now, we're not going to go people to a person. We don't do that. But obviously, it's a public article. So here's the girl that wrote the article.
So this is Emily, she did reach out.
Yeah, she did reach out for a comment, actually. She did ask if I would, and I just said I was too busy because I don't want to give any oxygen, even though we're doing this tonight. I know it's a bit weird, isn't it? But we're in control of this, you see. We're in control of the narrative and we're just telling you the truth. Because often with media, what was that, love? You shake your head then.
I did, because it's not about control. This is about our side of the story. This is about exposure. This is about that we can actually harness, you know, what we're trying to say. And, you know, I just think it's really, really important to actually give the other side of the story.
What I meant to say was we have editorial rights over this. So it's, you know, but if I give a comment to them, they can take it and twist it.
Absolutely.
They can't take and twist this because when I say we're in control of it.
Because we'll show you that in a bit.
Yeah, we're going to do that a bit later. They've tried to do it.
So this is Emily.
And this is her Twitter account. And you can see the bias here because when the Welsh Conservatives in Reform disagree with Nation Sanctuary, so do I, by the way. I think it's the worst thing that the Welsh government ever did. She posted this on her X account, which goes to show actually a little bit about her, that she is actually a Welsh nationalist, along with other journalists that work for the Nation Cymru online publication. And one of those is an old friend of mine, Mr. Martin Shipton.
This is Martin.
Yes.
This man has actually goaded and attacked you for years upon years. He has twisted your stories. He has totally shamed you, basically. He's tried to put you in this awful light, you know, and I've actually witnessed this over the 31 years of knowing you. And I've really struggled with this because he's doing it from an outsider's point of view, attacking you. You know, you've tried to reach out to them. You've tried to say, look, can we have a meetup? Can we discuss this? You've tried to be fair. And I think it's really, really important that people get both sides.
Absolutely. I think in 2019, when I stood in Blind I Gwent for the Brexit Party, he contacted me and asked me for a meeting and to have a chat because I was a candidate. And I said, yeah, of course. I took him for food. I paid as well. Really pissed about that. But anyway, I paid for the food at the time.
What did he eat?
Oh, a lot, as you can tell. So we had some food in Wetherspoons opposite my offices that we had at the time, campaign offices. And I sat with him. He was very pleasant, very nice, very warm, which journalists are because they rope you in. And I told him about my past. You know, I was a teenager. I was on drugs and I did this and I did that and I messed up. And at 18, I went to rehab, turned my life around and, you know, became a community kind of champion, if you like, doing all kinds of social activities like rehabs and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, and he was like, oh, wonderful, wonderful. And then he did a hit piece coming up to the elections. He wrote a piece saying, criminal wants to become next MP. And I was like, what? What? And then in the small part of the article, he talked about, but he used to be, but then he went to rehab and he changed. He was a young man, he misspent youth, blah, blah, blah. But there was the headline, and that's what people read, don't they? The headlines, that's what people get.
I think what we do as people, because everything's just so fast paced at the moment, it's like fast food, fast internet, fast. We need the next thing. When you see the paper and you just see that headline, it's like, oh my God, you don't really read the next. It's just like ex-con, ex-drug addict, this, that. You know, what people don't realize is that you utilized your burglaries and what you did to actually help people, and you became, you know, an advisor on a TV show to actually say, if this is the case, you need to lock this door, you need to do that. And you were a fantastic advisor.
Yes, absolutely.
So you've turned everything around from bad to good. And you have just stabilized and tried to show these people. But what's happened is, unfortunately, you have been full on attacked.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of my political views. Not because of my past, but because of my political views. Now, I don't, at any point, you know, I don't hate someone because of their political views that differ from mine. But I find those on the left side of the argument, and the Liberals and the Welsh nationalists, are very, very, they're very militant. I mean, when you take there's an organisation called Yes Cymru. They're like a think tank for...
Get it out!
I know.
They're
like a think tank for Welsh independence, right? So, and they're very closely aligned to publications like Nation Cymru because they spout the same kind of stuff out. And I've noticed that with Nation Cymru, what they do is they peddle a lot of Plaid Cymru stuff. They very, very seldomly criticise them. They'll criticise Welsh Labour, Reform, of course, Conservatives, and now Advance UK is now on the playing field, and now they want to make a big song and dance, and they want to mark us as far right, as some kind of crazy party that is, you know, and it is not who we are. As people and as a party, we're balanced. We believe in fairness, we believe in equality, all the things that the mission statement of Advance UK purports to do. And that's who we are. But unfortunately, they don't like us because we are a threat to the political landscape.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because we believe in one parliament. We don't believe in devolution. We don't believe that, you know, Welsh independence is the way forward, because we would be bankrupt within a month.
What annoys me though is that the left people, I say left, I don't, just the opposite to what we believe in. I can't stand saying that, but they legitimately will have issue with everything that we try and do. And in them having issue, there then, like I said, is this revolt. There is this kind of chaos and they create issue for us. But if they wanted to have their meetings, we don't give a shit. Do it. Go and enjoy. Have your time. Yet they're accusing us of not being democratic or being over the top and far right. However, probably we are more democratic than they realise.
Absolutely.
Go and do your thing, but stop stopping us doing ours.
I think there was one comment someone left at the Brunswick Arms. They hosted the Labour Party there sometime before. So they had the Labour Party there, but we weren't allowed to be there. Well, according to the guys who run the petition anyway.
So go back to the next bit of
But Nation Cymru, because we haven't finished with them yet, have we?
No.
Because there's a couple of things that we need to read you. So Nation Cymru received £9,400 via the Independent News Accelerator Fund. The fund is run by the Independent Community News Network, ICNN, but this particular accelerator fund was paid for from a Welsh government budget. So another, couple of quid from the Welsh government there. But recently, 2025, there was a significant increase in funding for the Welsh publishing sector allocated via the Book Council of Wales, an extra £272,000 in the budget to BCW, some of which goes to outlets such as Nation Cymru. And, check this one out, Rogue.
So, funding the Books Council of Wales, Nation Cymru has received £20,000 a year for several years, £20,000 per year, for several years from the Books Council of Wales. And BCW is an arm's-length body that distributes Welsh Government support to the publishing sector. In addition to that annual grant, Nation Cymru also got £42,000 from the BCW's New Audience Fund. What is even the New Audience Fund? I still don't even know what that is. And £7,200 one-off cost of living. Cost of living! How are they actually distributing that money for cost of living? Not everybody was getting their cost of living.
They've taken a handsome bunch of money from taxpayers' money, really, haven't they?
It is. But can we just say, like, for people from England, because this is very different. So the Welsh political kind of like stance is very, very different because obviously there is that nationalist feel of, you know, our Welsh land, you know, our forefathers and, you know, the language. And I appreciate that. I do appreciate that entirely.
I should hope so.
Well, I do.
Oh, you do. You're half Welsh.
I know. But the point is, in England, it's not quite like that.
Well,
why is it so different?
Well, I think because Wales is a small country, 3.1 million people, isn't it, right? And media has not been devolved to Wales. So Westminster still controls media, if you like. If you look at the big national corporations, big news corporations. So Wales has always had this, or Welsh nationalists have always had this bugbear, you know, oh, it's not fair, you know, we've got our own media. But the media in Wales is shite. Right, it's crap. You get like 2 minutes, 3 minutes on the end of the main news on a, you know, whatever night it is, and it's nothing. You know, a guy in Ystrad his daffodil got squashed by a butterfly or something like that. It's just crap. It's just crap, right? There's some good programs out there, but in the main, it's rubbish. Right, very little gets reported. But one of the things I would say, not enough is talked about when it comes to the Senedd, the Welsh Parliament, which I don't believe should exist because it was an assembly. Then they turned it into a parliament without a vote of the Welsh people. And yet they come up with all kinds of laws for Welsh people that have been devolved, and people don't know what's going on. So they go to the Senedd, and they've increased it now from 60 to 96 MSs. You know, this massive increase. It's never been right to pay more politicians. Come on, let's be honest. I mean, it's a waste of money increasing the size of it. And yet they're doing things and people don't know what's going on. So people are affected by it. And when we talk about this, when people say, I don't want to get involved in politics because it doesn't affect me. Well, if you pay a mortgage, if you drive a car, if you're paying your gas and electric, politics affects every single one of us, whether we like it or not, Rogue, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I went out the other day and when I was touring around the whole of Wales trying to find some people to interview, there were some girls, they were single mums, they were about 15. Actually, some were 15, some were 17. So there was like this varied range. And I sat there and I said, where are you at with politics? And they were just like, don't care as long as we get the benefits and as long as we can have babies. And it was like, no, this is not okay. You need to understand what your children are going to be growing up in. You need to understand what is happening for you. And you need to start shaping your future for your children. Yeah. And it's so damn important that people recognize it. It's like you have those people that just go, oh, I don't know who to vote. And to be fair, I understand why some people don't want to vote. And my journey has been simply that I didn't like politics. I could not stand it because nobody meant what they said. And it was just all smoke mirrors. It was just this kind of cloak and dagger world where everybody was backbiting and bitching about everybody. And it was just like this mad theatre, theatre. I just felt like I was sat just with my popcorn, whoever else is having their popcorn now, just literally watching it and an onlooker. And I don't feel like I have any influence to be able to do something different until now.
Absolutely. Well, you got involved with Advance UK because you listened to Ben Habib like me, and I thought, this man gets it. He understands that we're facing existential threat in the country, that we're losing our way, we're losing our identity. And as we said many times before, once you lose your identity, you lose your
voice. And your everything.
And so it's important that this is our last chance, really. And we saw an opportunity that Ben Habib would launch this party back in June. And in 5 months, 6 months, the party has grown exponentially, massively, over 40,000 members, which is an incredible feat in itself. And we are seeing things rapidly grow here in Wales as well, Rogue, aren't we?
Absolutely. I mean, Wales is such a beautiful country.
It is.
So many beautiful people. And I just love kind of talking to people and just saying, where are you at? Because all they've known is Labour, the Welsh Labour for a long, long time.
And what have they delivered in Labour? Welsh Labour here in Wales? Absolute crap. If you think about it, you look at our education, you look at our NHS, you look at our employment, you look at our industries, we don't have any more, our economy. I mean, the whole thing is a shower of shite under Welsh Labour. And you can't hide from that. They can't hide from that. They've always blamed Westminster, but they can't anymore because guess who's in charge in Westminster? Labour. So it's two cheeks of the same ass here in Wales and in Westminster. I mean, we talked to people this week, didn't we, who said they were gutted that they voted for Labour.
Yeah, absolutely gutted. And I would be too if I'd voted for him, to be honest. But yeah, so where are we up to?
So we're going to come to comments. So I was just on Nation Company, not going to labour the point too much, but because I know we pitched the podcast about this expose. So what we're saying is this. They are controlled media. They would deny it. They're biased. They are paid by the Welsh government, £25,000 a year for several years by the Books Council of Wales, which is there really, it's a charity actually, and it gives a proportion of its money to different outlets within Wales to protect its history, culture and language. But yet this is a political news channel. Now, you never see a newspaper that are published. You never see them on, it's just an online publication. You saw the 33,000 on X, and they post articles out. And they have attacked, in fairness, Welsh Labour because, of course, they're Welsh nationalists who are very militant, the O Anglindur kind of spirit, kill all the English because they're not worth living for, and they invaded us and they pillaged our villages. The Saxons came here and took over our homes and all that kind of stuff. They have this kind of revengeful way of seeing their optics, if you like, how they see the world, which is not really the reality. Because I believe, even though I'm Welsh, I am British. I am Welsh and I'm British. And I believe the two can live in harmony with one another, like being Scottish and Northern Irish as well. I'm sure you feel the same.
That's quite beautiful.
Oh, thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you. I might sing a song now, and they
Feel a
never
bit
know.
like
Mine here and will add that. So that's a little bit about Nation Cymru, but we've kind of kept the best story to last now that more of you are watching, Ashley. So
can we have a look at the comments first, please?
Yeah, we're going to go to some of the comments.
I love the comments.
By the way, before we go to comments, can we just say a huge thank you to every one of you that support us, that watch us.
Thank you.
We're live every Sunday night, okay? We dip in the week. Wednesday nights is going to be every Wednesday night as well. But every Sunday, we're always live doing a roundup. But this is specific tonight. We wanted to talk about the media shutting us down and accusing us of being far right. If anything, they're far wrong, because we are not far right, Rogue.
I like that. There was bloody, give me high five, If anything, they are far wrong.
And I always say to people, if you don't like it, move. You're not a tree. If you don't like the country, anyway, it's another one. I just thought I'd push. So we got more comments, but we're going to come to your comments. But if you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, and you want to support us, you can do that. All you've got to do is, if you click that QR code to come up on the screen now, I don't know which side it comes on, scan it with your phone. If you're not watching the YouTube on your phone, then please would you leave a small little donation. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. We'd appreciate it very much. So we're going to go to the comments now then. Rogue, let's have a look, shall we? Because we've got a few here. Let's go back.
Oh, my glasses. I have to take them on and off and on and off.
I have never had any political home before until Advance came along. Fantastic.
Amazing, Connor.
That's great, Connor. Welcome to the family, because we are a family, Rogue, aren't we? It's more than just a political party. We want to be a family, don't we?
Absolutely.
Well, we've seen that in Wales, haven't we?
Yeah, I think, what happens is everybody collates together, and they understand the vision, and they understand that we are progressing in a direction. And when you have a direction, there's hope. And when there's hope, there is that kind of togetherness where we all start to fight for the same thing. And I know that in the very beginning, and still now, people are saying, why are you splitting the votes? And you have an answer. You have your stock answer to that, don't you?
Well, there's a couple of things in it, but my stock answer used to be, and you didn't like my stock answer.
I hated it.
I used to say, no one's entitled to anyone's vote, right? Everyone votes with their conscience, their convictions, and their principles to a party that aligns with them. And so just because I believe, in anti-immigration, or I believe in fairness, equality, everyone should be treated. I don't believe in DEI, I don't believe in diversity, equality and inclusion, because it's ruining the workspace. All that kind of stuff. People might think, well, you're going to vote reform. No, because there are other parties who don't believe in DEI, like the Conservatives and Advance UK. Of course, we don't believe in it either, because the civil service is overbloated. We'd get rid of it. We'd repeal most of what Tony Blair did, because it's been a disaster since the 90s. And so, I would vote or go along with a party that aligns with my convictions. But more than that, not just a party that says those things, but a party and a leader that I believe can deliver those things. I believe Farage used to be that man, but I don't believe he is anymore. He's a political chameleon. And that is why I'm with Advance UK. And I'm excited to be leading the party here in Wales with you and the team. And it's really exciting.
Somebody's written that. Can you just put that? You need to stop telling lies.
Right, okay.
Let's have a look who that is.
Professional painting services. You need to stop telling lies. Okay.
Services.
Tell us a bit more and we'll answer your questions.
You need to stop telling lies. That's really interesting.
So they're talking about the budget here. They're struggling to get this one here, sorry. They're struggling to get the budget for the next year through the Senate at the moment. Yeah, I've been watching that, and we should keep an eye on it as well. Senate, someone said, is jobs for the boys. It needs to be dissolved. Well, I'd be an advocate for that. I've stood for the Welsh Assembly Party in previous incarnations, because I believe the same. It is another tier of government that we do not need. When you think about it, you have Westminster, you have, Holyrood, or you have Stormont, and then you have the Senedd, Then you have local councils, 22, 23 councils in Wales. We don't need it. We're just paying people for jobs that the council can do. So some more comments here. My little brother lives in Wales. Oh, okay. Wales is the blueprint for the UK.
Amazing. That's right.
The past few decades for the younger generations has removed any drive in them. In my
Go up a
opinion.
bit more, because I'm intrigued.
Let's
because
have a
some
look.
people have put about everyone's allowed to have freedom of speech. Let's have a look at that one.
Okay.
Everyone's allowed to have freedom of speech except white British patriots. Taffy Toon, hello darling. It's gone too far already and getting worse. It seems freedom of speech is okay as long as you agree with the left. Here, here. We understand that. Do as we say, not as we do.
Some comments on Nation Cymru, you know, like, all that money to sit behind a PC to peddle propaganda. Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Another wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Of course it is.
In.
Let's see if there's anybody else that's telling us not to tell lies.
No party is going to save us. This ends one way and only one way. Well, you know, this might be our last chance, Rogue.
Do you know, and that's the thing for me. It's like, if I can't sit there and do nothing. I understand the world agenda. I understand, and you always go, don't go back to that again. But I have to, because there is an agenda. The 2030 agenda is real. And so if you recognize that there is this kind of bigger picture that is actually going to come into fruition, and we can't actually do anything about it, then you get lost. But if we can actually try to change the direction and actually make it easier, and actually start bringing things to the table that will help and that will deliver, then guess what? We've done our bit, and that's all I can do. I owe that to my granddaughter, and I owe that to my children. It's so important.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a comment here by Taffy David. How much influence has the invading culture of Islam had on the locality where you live? How much are you being affected by the invasion? Well, I mean, look, lots of people have got their own opinions, but of course, lots of communities have changed radically, as we've seen across the whole of the United Kingdom and Wales as well. And that is, of course, because we've had, if you like, a culture that's not compatible with our culture, and they don't respect our culture and history. And in fact, they impose their own way of life upon us. Sharia law, Sharia courts. People say they don't exist. Well, actually, they do exist. There's evidence that they do. They hold no sway legally here in the UK because the UK government doesn't recognise them. But it doesn't mean to say they're not operating over here, Rogue, does it?
Absolutely. But look at what above that. I remember Welsh nationalists in 70, 80 burning holiday homes in North Wales.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they were very militant. Absolutely. Yeah. All these all kinds of crazy things. From being a registered party? That's a good question. So how far away Advance UK from being a registered party? Very, very soon. Of course, you have to go with the EC, the Electoral Commission, and they sometimes in a pain in the backside. You know, you miss out a word or a letter, or the law goes wrong, and they kind of come back and complain backwards and forwards. But nevertheless, we're continuing with the ground game because, you know, the EC will take their time. We'll register very soon, but you know, by the time this 2029 elections come around, we'll be ready to go anyway. But in the meantime, we don't take our foot off the gas. We keep pushing forward, building up our membership, getting our branches rolled out, regions rolled out across the country as we grow exponentially as we've been doing. So we're going to come to more comments as well. Let's have a look. Brexit Party. What's this one, Rogue? Maybe should I look at this, is it?
Yeah, it's something. They're probably...
that's about me. Look, that's quite funny. I can put that on, actually, and I'll come back to that answer. Brexit Party reform, by the way, they're both the same party. They just changed name, just for to let you know. So that's one.
So that's
party.
One.
And Abolish Welsh Assembly, that's two. And Advance. So Advance is my third party. And you know what? I'm proud of being part of every single one of them on my journey, because Brexit Party, I was part of leaving the EU. Brilliant, we did it. Abolish Welsh Assembly Party, because I believe in getting rid of the Welsh Parliament, which is what we're talking about. Devolution has not worked. And guess what? Advance UK stands for getting rid of devolution. There we go. I followed my principles, convictions, and what I believe is right. And I've picked a party that believes in those two. So there's the answer to that. How's that for an answer? Pretty cool, Alan. Anyway, moving on. Let's have a look. What does that say, Rogue?
I have hope again for the first time in a long time because of Advance UK. The people will follow good, honest leaders. We're fed up of being hoodwinked. Absolutely. I mean, can I just say we've got 333 people following right now, and that's an angel number.
Okay.
So 333,
Google
fantastic
it,
number.
See what it means. See what it means.
I would.
Martin has said, yep, and whatever that means. Yep, Are you eating food? I don't know. But that's fantastic.
Mouthful.
So we're going to, listen, we've got we're going to come in a moment. We've been going for an hour already. The hour goes really quick, doesn't it?
It's not quite. You've got 6 minutes.
Yeah,
left.
but I'm not going to say we're going to finish, but the hour goes really quick, doesn't it?
I know,
really
but
quick.
we need to like
We
give
need to get
people
through
the story.
No, yeah, we've been waiting for this. No, we're waiting.
Did we do any of those?
Oh, we're going to go to some of the comments. On Nation Cymru, well, obviously they did this article, and it was a hit piece. Let's be quite frank about it, not bullshit in here. It was a hit piece on Advance UK. It was a hit piece on a party that is principled and serious about saving our country. And I've mentioned those 4 key things: equality in the law, democracy, freedom of speech, and what's the fourth one? It's gone to my mind now. Sovereignty. Those things that we believe. Is that right? Yeah, no, thank you. I should know that by heart. I really do. But my point is this. You know, anybody can have a political view. To be shut down for your views politically when they are just simply believing in your country is completely wrong. And they tried to do that. Here is the X account that has come from. And here are some of the comments, Rogue, that we brought up. So check these out.
Glasses time now. Here we go again. So we have makes me more likely to go there. So swings and roundabouts. So what they've done is actually created an interest by slamming and damning us being there and people putting a petition out. They're now saying they'd like to go there. So any pub you hold an event in should be boycotted. Forget that. They're a business. Let them serve whoever they wish. Yeah, you censor us fascists. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So free speech. Again, it's not even there because these people are trying to totally take over. And that is really unacceptable.
Absolutely.
So we've got to go to the next one. Is there a petition that I can sign in support of this fabulous and democratic pub? I think it's wonderful. I mean, how good is that? We need more people like this who can see it on a neutral level and just say, you know what, when people become really extreme, it's a real turnoff. And you start to fight against the extremism, don't you? Yeah. You literally fight against it and just say, this is absolute bullshit. And actually, because you're making such a fuss and being such a drama queen, we're just going to say, actually, it's okay. So the next one is, I think, Ben Habib is definitely not far right. He's moderate and non-tribal to a T. Enough with this shrillness. What a word. Enough
shrillness.
With the shrillness.
We have a few more comments here. Pubs have already taken a battering over the years in Wales, so leave the Brunswick Arms out of your politically biased attacks. They used to do a nice pint and food there. Support local businesses, not boycott them. Amen to that. I agree with that 100%.
Absolutely. And then somebody's put, so cave into the Antifa mob, and millions haven't. We're just not, you know, I mean, millions haven't signed it. So actually, you know, and then again, the far right, laughy faces. What I like about Tommy Pickles is he's written, what a disgraceful post, truly, because they're boycotting the pub. They're the ones that are suffering. So
hundreds in a nation of 3 million, the people will be back in this pub more now. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with that as well. That we've had that one already. So yeah. So
why is Martin Pringle still saying?
Those were some of the comments. Sorry about that. Let me just bring this. I got to find this. Where is it? Oh, where is it? There we go.
Somebody, hang on, go up above because somebody's put. Are you on the right channel, mate? There you go. Taffy, David, are you? Okay.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, he's asking someone else about someone else. Okay, so we're going to go to some of these comments. Then we're going to go to our final story tonight, which is incredible. You won't get your breath. I mean, we laughed when we saw it.
Well, we laughed, but
there's a serious side as well.
Yeah. But there was actually something else.
Yeah.
Where I thought, oh.
Come the comments here. Change number, madness.
Don't forget to say like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, please like, follow, subscribe.
Follow, and subscribe. If you could just share this would be brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic. So,
okay, so are we ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready? So, something happened this week was brought to our attention, and we want to bring it to you, the viewers. And you're probably the person that put this page together. You're probably watching.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
We love the fact that you've copycatted every single thing, but what you haven't done is being too clever, and that's okay. We're there watching and observing.
So this was somebody who's been watching our show, doing your TikToks as well,
watching all my TikToks,
and taking our stuff and then putting on a certain page that they've created with a grand total of 8 followers.
Woo!
So should we show the folks? Let's so this page has been created. Check it out. There we go.
Please welcome the far right Advance UK. Oh no, they've only got 6 followers now.
Oh, 6. They might have 8, but I don't know. It's an old picture, I should imagine.
Oh my gosh. So the land of sinners and no saints. So I was actually always going to be the sinner anyway, and you were going to be the saint.
I am an ordained reverend, by the way. So
you are an ordained
I
reverend.
just don't use it.
So look, as you can see, there is a picture of he and thee, and we are now being AI'd into German Nazis.
Yeah, absolutely. You look good in grey, by the way.
Thank you so much.
That was your line in there. That was your line in there.
So my line. I was going to say, although like it was just awful, I realised that I look good in grey.
Then it is.
I actually look good in grey. This is freaking awful, though. This is actually shocking that somebody would go to that extent and actually pose a threat to us by trying to insinuate this. And it's not true. But do you know what? Not. You haven't just gone that far, have you?
No.
You've gone and actually...
Right, so...
No. Let me finish.
Go on. I'm listening.
You have gone through every single TikTok. You have also tried to cut and paste just like the BBC did with Donald Trump. Now, if you hadn't learned from the BBC and Panorama and how they failed and how they are suable, we're going to show you what this person has cut, and we're going to show you what was really said.
So listen to this. This is what they put together and made about us. Support Advance UK, we are
the far right thugs, fascists.
At least I wish I'd shot a lot more.
Yeah.
There we are. Did you hear that?
Let's play it once more.
Once more, yeah. Let's play that again. Listen very carefully to the words that they say. Obviously we use those words, but the context will show you in a moment. Check it out again. Support Advance UK, we are
the far right thugs, fascists.
At least I wish I'd shot a lot more. Support Advance. So,
can I just say,
give us a rundown on that video.
BBC, right? Panorama, the doctoring of a conversation that was 50 minutes apart. If you have not learned,
you've not learned at all. If you listen to that clip very carefully, they make out that I say that I wish I'd shot people in the Middle East, and they make out that Rogue was saying we're far right. Now, we're going to show you the context. Wonderful thing is having this wonderful access to all of our videos. We're going to show you the actual conversation that we actually did have and what was said truly before they changed it. Check this out.
With this guy who was just sat there and taking in the sunshine and watching, the world go by. And we just thanked him for his service. And he basically said something which totally took me by surprise. And I don't know about banning on here, but I know in TikTok
I think it started with asking him, you asked him, I think, what do you think of the state of the country? And he said, it's a shit show. What's happening?
I said, look, Tammy back here, Starmer. He said, I don't want to talk about him. He's an absolute moron, a complete imbecile. And then I said to him, okay, so where did you serve? And then he talked about serving in the Middle East. And then he said about the illegal immigration and that it was affecting him. And I know somebody's just said actually about, if we keep on talking more and more about the illegal immigration, then we're actually playing into the hands of the WEF. Understood. And I get that, what you're saying. But the truth is, it is still happening and we are suffering. And this particular gentleman, this veteran, turned around and said,
am I going to... You queued me up for that.
I have, yeah.
Well, what he said was, and by the way, we don't encourage this here. He said, when I served in the Middle East, I wish I'd shot a lot more people. I mean, not my words, his, right? So I know it's a bit harsh. We don't advocate that, Paul, do we? But we get his sentiment because what he was saying was, look, so, folks, there we go. So
let's go back to the thing again.
Yeah, so this is what they recognise. Support Advance UK, we are...
the far right thugs, fascists.
At least I wish I'd shot a lot more.
Right. So that is trying to edit to incriminate Richie, which is what a lot of the other people have been doing. Martin Shipton, Emily Price. We are trying to say that we're not here to say this man is God, because he is not. However, how he is portrayed is completely wrong, and how I have now been sucked up into this madness in a flipping Nazi suit is actually wrong.
That's disgusting, actually.
It is.
That actually offends me. It offends me. And actually, we've done some research. Our digital department have done some digging, and we know you're watching. And we also know your IP address. Just thought we'd let you know. So in the words of Liam Nielsen, we know who you are.
Well, there you go. So there was another clip as well. There's another video.
We're going to come to this because they accused you of calling us, we are far right, when actually this is what you actually said. Here's the context of what you've said. I'm doing another clip. Here we go.
And we are racist.
Well,
and we are far right fellas.
I mean, I could read some of the comments out. Now, Rogue, would you like to explain the context of that? Because we were talking about what people call us.
Yeah, so you asked me a direct question and said, could you tell me what is it since you've joined Advance UK? What is it since you've, stood for these values that you have been called? And I said, the far right.
And you've lost friends over this. Since you've joined Advance UK, let's be quite frank here, you've lost friends.
I have.
I've lost friends. We've lost people because we've joined a political party. It's
that
crazy.
They don't agree with.
Yeah.
And I find that just unbelievable. It's like, can you not again accept? I'll accept you, and if you accept me. But no, if you do not fit their narrative, then they just discard you, and that's quite.
So this page here, the far right Advance UK Wales. I know lots of you have been reporting it. That's fine. Keep on doing that. That's fine. But we just want you to know, we think it's bloody hilarious. But at the same time, there's a serious side here because, of course, when you start posting this kind of stuff, and it's always those on the left side of the argument, that do this kind of stuff. I would never think of doing this.
I wouldn't.
And they are the very thing they accuse you of. So when they say you're fascist, no, that's fascism right there. When they put you in clothes dressed like that, and they got you there, Rogue, as the centerpiece right there. It's not been me all the years. It's now you have taken over. It's a badge of honor, girl. Go on, girl.
But can I just say, I quite like what they did with my hair. So I might try and, hang on, shall we see if I can.
Yeah, it's very 50s, 60s.
What about that? Is that looking, am I sort of...
They might put us in another uniform. Who knows?
Well, let's just try it and do, can I be a Wren next time?
Could be. So we're
going to have a Wren account?
We're going to come to the comments, but I wanted to on the video there, if you notice, I talked about a gentleman who was a veteran who used those words.
You even said that you don't condone it.
We don't condone these actions. But they clipped it and made out as if I was saying it's okay, I wish I'd shot more people. I've never shot a person in my life.
Yet again, I'm going to say it. It's the same doctoring that Panorama did with Trump.
Absolutely.
And so we know what Trump's doing, which is defamatory and inflammatory, and a bit of a letter to say, that is not okay.
Should we contact our lawyer?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah. I'll phone her in a minute.
We got your IP address. Moving on.
So anyway,
just to let you know that we are going to take now your comments and questions and anything you'd like to say.
Was there another video at the bottom?
I don't know if there was, my love. I don't know. That was it, really. And we played that funny video at the start. Hope you enjoyed. Did you enjoy that, by the way? I thought it was fantastic. It was really funny, wasn't it?
Your bit was the McDonald's bit. My bit was... Actually, they've copied me because there was one bit where I said, did I just shake the whole computer?
Yeah, you did,
I don't care. They said, I said, if you get your doctor receptionists on and have them monitoring the borders, there is no way they'll get in. And they actually took one of my TikToks and used it for theirs.
It's true,
how bloody rude.
Unless you phone at 8:30 in the morning, you might get an appointment. Anyway, moving on very quickly. And so, listen, we want to say to all of you, thank you for supporting us as well along the journey. This has been a crazy week for us, isn't it? We've had, these kind of hit pieces. Listen, all they do is they galvanize us. They make us stronger. We learn lessons from them. We're not deterred by them. We laugh. We have banter over them. But there is a serious side, because when a person can't win an argument or debate, they turn to these kind of tactics, don't they? Let's be honest, because they've got nothing else. They've got no argument. And so
I don't want an argument with Martin Shipton and Emily Price. I don't have an argument with you. I accept that you have your views, and I really wish that you'd accept that I have my views. It is that simple. I don't have beef with you. I totally respect that you do your journalism in whatever, Richard, in whichever way that you do it. But please just concentrate on you, and we'll concentrate on us, and we just don't need to be at loggerheads. It's just, there's no need.
No, absolutely, my love, you're right. Okay, let's go to some of the comments, actually, because we've been talking quite a bit. Do you want to take over the comments and have a scroll down?
Oh, hang on. Angel number 333 is about life, growth, expression, and creating a life you want. Look at that. How perfect is
Another
that?
one here. Madness, using free speech to protest against free speech. That's true. I mean, it's nuts. The world's gone bonkers, man. It really has. Someone said, no, I
haven't just said, but you did.
Okay. What's this?
So let's have a look.
Is this? I don't understand this here.
Just put it on.
I can't understand what it says.
Okay, 2 pardons. J6 writers were arrested last week. Andrew Johnson was charged with abusing an 11-year-old. John Banulos was charged with kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault. Patriots.
Not sure what that means, but thank you for that.
Rogue, when you become an MP, will you stand for all your Muslim Ooh.
She would stand for all the constituents who voted for her. Of course she would. Paula's just laughing. She's laughing at us because I mean, we do say some stuff. Some shame on them. This is about the Facebook page. I should imagine dressing us in Nazi uniforms.
It's wrong. It's completely wrong, and there's just no need for it. There is no need for them to be doing that. Bloody disgusting. And what has Facebook said? Let me tell you what Facebook has done. Sweet FA. They have basically just said, move on. There's nothing to see here. When actually, me in a Nazi suit, there is something to see there.
Absolutely.
Because not only do I look good in grey, it's offensive.
But it's not just that. You got kids, you got family in you. So and some things that go online stay online, don't they? Unless they're taken down, of course. And we don't care about hurty words, so you can call us what you want. But there's a line, isn't it? And some people have crossed it, but we got your IP address. Anyway, someone's called you in a uniform, a sexy mama.
Well, thank you.
Well, I hope it's about you and not me. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Are you a mama?
You never know, Joe. Ben for 10. Yeah, absolutely. Ben for 10. That's what we're believing for. Fallen BBC.
Fallen BBC now. Yeah. It's obviously clipped and manipulated. Had it done to myself. It's so boring, though, isn't it? It's just like, come on. But the worst thing is, if somebody heard that and saw us in Nazi suits, we do not want another. It's inciting of hate, isn't it?
Yeah, of course
it's an incitement of hate, and it's actually people are encouraging other people to have this hatred for us. And if somebody wasn't clever enough to hear that was clipped, then unfortunately, somebody could attack us in the streets, and that's not okay.
And we've been warned about that, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got intel. We can't say too much. We've got intel. Anyway, also, what's that website you're looking at? Far Right Watch people. Remember those? We didn't get time to put them on the show tonight, did we?
No, but there is the Far Right Advanced UK Wales, which is what we've put up there. Yeah. We've got the Far Right Watch Wales, which Ben Habib Advanced UK is completely smothered on. Yeah. We have the Nation Cymru, we have Swansea Bay News, we have the Wales at the United Nations. So they are very active as well.
We're exposing a lot tonight.
We are. Then we've got Emily Price and Martin Shipton, who are bloggers or journalists for Nation Cymru. And then, it's basically there are a few people and articles and companies, charities, whatever, who are attacking Advanced UK and Reform.
Yeah,
it's not just Advanced UK, it's Reform. They're attacking people. I mean, there is a story with Jodie.
That's your friend, isn't it?
Mrs. Kent. So Mrs. Kent. There was obviously a reformer councillor that's been sacked, stood down, because he was writing certain things in a WhatsApp group that was not appropriate. It wasn't appropriate. No. And actually, Jodie did come out and say that I think we need to shut this group down. That was not okay. And she tried to shut it down. It got leaked. And it was exposed, and it's all out in the media now. And, unfortunately for Jodie, who is a patriot, she totally believes for her children, for her country, what she wants to see. And actually, it's just not what Labour is bringing or offering. And so, I just think that we are being strung out, left out to dry. And actually, we are still allowed to have our own opinion. It pisses me off.
I think it's because, you see, Advanced UK is at the moment, you think about it, right? We're going through the process of Regional Electoral Commission, and we're going to be a very credible force in the future. And of course, we're fighting to win number 10 Downing Street in 2029. And of course, when you start like this, you get attacked straight at the start, don't you? It's like the seed that goes in the ground, it germinates and dies and grows. Yeah. They want to attack it at the root, before it gets anywhere, before it establishes itself. They want to stop what we're doing. The train is moving, the lions are roaring, and we're going to shoot the foxes on the way. And I meant that metaphorically, not literally. So just to let them people are like
sometimes you could choose your words after you've just been clipped a little wiser. Seriously, somebody else is going to clip that. We're going to have to say no, what he meant was.
Danuta said, are you going to sue them? Who knows? If you're watching, we know your IP address. Anyway, that's enough of that. Sorry, guys, possibly look good in uniform. Yeah, maybe
But
the British
not
uniform.
a Nazi one. Can
No.
I be a Wren? Can somebody dress me up in a Wren, please? Can you do me a nice Wren outfit where I look with my hair? Hang on. I really liked what they did with my hair. It was just quite
really
cutesy.
cool.
Can I do it? I need a hairdresser. Can you just put the buy me a coffee up again?
Yeah, quick, I'll do it now. Hang on, yeah, folks, just on that note, if you would like to leave a little donation, there it is. Scan that QR code, whatever it is, and you can leave a small donation, £1, £2, enough for a cup of coffee. We'd really appreciate it, because once again, we do this because we're passionate about it, but any support would be much appreciated, so we can get better equipment here in the studio. I'll leave that up, Ashley. Yeah, so we're going to go to some of the comments again then, Ro, because we've got lots going on here. Hello.
Did you put that video up?
No, I didn't. No, I forgot. You're going to tell me off now.
I am going to tell you what.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to get it.
They actually did do a video with us saying hello.
They want a cheerleader, Rogue. There we go. A cheerleader. That's Paul, our friend.
I don't want to.
Yeah, Prince Harry. He was smoking a big reefer, big spliff when he was dressed in that uniform as well. Leanne Woods, Plaid Cymru, Paul said, told me not to help constituents or were not played.
Do you know what? That's really interesting, because that page, the the far right Advanced UK Wales are following Leanne, and they're starting to follow. What's really weird is that this page knows exactly who to sort of follow, and they're following all the right people.
Thank you, Buffon. Don't get demoralized, guys. That is what they want. Yeah, we thank you for that. We know what their game is, but they're not going to win, are they? Hence the reason why we have this wonderful platform of saints and sinners, where we can come on and we can expose and we can say, didn't work.
Do you know what, though? Again, it's not like I want a one-man exhibition. No. I want to be able to talk to people and say, I don't have beef with you. You believe in what you believe in. It's fine. Go ahead. Maybe once like Demi Moore in the... that'd be quite good. Woohoo! That'd be quite sexy, wouldn't it?
Sorry, I'm laughing, guys. Is that something there?
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
Late. Oh, I can't. I got my bloody glasses on. Buffoon, yeah, good evening. Is it Buffoon? Buffon. I can't see. I got my glasses on.
How dare you be late?
I know. How very dare you, as they say. Rogue, I think that's a wrap tonight, isn't it? Or do you want to stay on and talk?
Oh, no, you want to do the one last thing, which is the poll that we did.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is each week here on Saints and Sinners, we're going to conduct a poll. Isn't that right, Rob?
That is right. Now, you chose the questions for the last two, so I'm going to ask for the next one, okay? And then next Sunday, I will be doing the delivery of the results.
So here on our YouTube channel, if you're watching...
With the white suit on, like Demi Moore.
Very nice. So here, if you're watching on YouTube, if not, if you're watching us on X, then please go across our YouTube channel, where on our community, join our community here on Saints and Sinners. We'd love to be able to talk with you. By the way, we respond to every single person. Well, Rogue certainly does. I know you do. So if you want to communicate with us, please go on there into our community. Become part of our community. So it's not just us speaking to the camera. We're speaking to you, the people, the audience, our friends, people who support what we're doing and believe in what we're doing. So we're going to post on there a couple of things. We're going to do some polls. Now, I've done a couple of polls in there. They haven't been that good. Who would be the best Prime Minister, me or Rogue? And you all voted for Rogue, of course.
Well, anyway, you've been in like 7 freaking parties.
Well, according to some, yeah. And
why can't people get it right? How many exactly have you been in?
This is my 3rd Advance UK. So I've been in Brexit Party, which was now reformed, but they're all one party, seem. And then Abolish World Assembly Party, because I don't believe in devolution, and now Advance UK. By the way, I didn't want to get back into politics anyway. I'd done with politics. It was boring. Well, I say boring. It's not boring. If anything, it's not boring, but it's blooming hard work, I can tell you. This is a nice comment here.
Thank you both so much for everything you are doing. We love you guys. We love you. We absolutely adore you. Thank you so much.
So each week we're going to be doing a poll. Now this week just gone in our community, which you can join here on our YouTube page. We asked the question. I nearly said X, yeah. We asked the question: which party would you vote for?
You have to remove that comment.
If there was a... All right, my love. I like donuts. They're nice.
At the top. The top.
All right, okay.
Here, hide.
This one. Oh, right, okay. Okay, so here is the question.
Which party would you vote for if there was a general election tomorrow? Now, we kept on having complaints. Everybody was saying, every time you click it, it keeps on going to Labour. But Labour was just on 0. So, like, there was no way that Labour...
So I just need a comment. All people are going about is you dressing up now. This has gone to tits. I mean, the whole idea of the show is to be serious. And now they're all talking about, Rogue, can you wear this? Can you wear that? Thank you, Bob, so much. What's like, take court action. Yeah, that's possible. What's this? I won't vote for Rogue until she deals with the menopause. Don't forget Richie all the way until... Paula, so yes, please. There's a sailor on here. Paula's a sailor, look. A former sailor, of course. So getting back to the question then, Rogue, which party? And the results are in.
Yeah, so Labour was a fat 0. Not one of you, not one of you supported Labour. I don't blame you. Conservatives got a 2%, and Advance UK got 31%, and Reform got an outstanding 67%.
Yeah, they say to get to know your audience, don't they? So I guess lots of our audience are Reform supporters, and that's why you're entitled to vote for whoever you think is the best party for you. Just happens to believe that Advance UK is the best party for us, and we'd ask you to join us. Anyway.
No, you don't. You respect them for who they choose.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just don't believe that Reform is the answer, even though, I mean, a lot of people
you don't, but they might, and that's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. They're in for a big shock, aren't they? But Farage is a political comedian, love.
It doesn't matter that people might say that about you.
I'm not standing in an election.
Well, no, it doesn't matter whether you're standing. You've just gone from one to another, apparently, according to these people.
Right, you're not getting your head done this week now. Enough of this now. Right, so we will also want to encourage you, if you've got any questions or anything you'd like to put into the show in our community here on Saints and Sinners, drop some comments into the community and let us know. There might be some topics they want to talk about, because we want to cover a lot of things, not just politics. Don't be wrong. We talk about current affairs, and we're interviewing people, and we're doing lots of stuff. We've just bought one of these, actually. Oh, look at this. It's called a gimbal, apparently.
I don't even know how to use it.
How excited was I when this came?
Ridiculous.
What was that
like a child for Christmas.
You put your phone in there, you can do this. So we're going to go around protesting and interview people, and it's going to be exciting, isn't it? Yeah. Really exciting. Well, we're just going to go through some more comments then. We're just going to say goodnight to you all. It is now 9:20, and it's my bedtime at 10, because the devil works after 10 o'clock, I believe. I like my sleep. I'm really...
Jeez, who told you that?
Do you think I'm old-fashioned?
Right. So you only like old hymns.
Yeah.
You look like Steve Coogan.
Right.
And you just are really somebody from the Goonies. Do you know when you just get like that old kind of type person that is just from the... I love the Goonies, and I love the Truffle Shuffle.
Right.
That was great fun.
You've just moved the whole earth then. Church bells and everything else going on here. Come on. We're nearly up to 400 viewers here in a minute, so this is great. I mean, why is it when we're about to finish the show, we hit the maximum amount of followers or viewers, or whatever the case might be? It's always
actually, if you aren't following us, then please subscribe to
we'd appreciate
our YouTube channel, so you can see all of my shorts and my fan mouth.
Not her shorts, but they're not about videos. But we've got, how many subscribers we got now? 3,221, I think.
So we started 7 months ago.
Yeah.
We put it on hold because Advance UK sort of took over for you, didn't it?
Yeah.
So we sort of put it to the back burner, and then we've now decided that we're going to come back with a vengeance. So here we are.
And in the new year, we've got a big rebranding going on. So there's going to be a lot of things. We've got a Substack coming out. We've got loads of stuff happening, of course. And we're going to be on Facebook or Perv Book or Nose Book, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Shall I dye my hair purple?
Yeah, but you're left wing then.
Am I? Can I not have purple hair without being called left wing?
Of course you can. We had a comment of someone today to me who had purple hair on Facebook, and I think they would be called far right, wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
Far right or far left?
There's no such thing, is there? I mean, it doesn't exist, is it? Let's be honest. It's all in the imagination minds of people, created by the political class to divide us. But together we stand, divided we fall.
Amen.
Amen. I think is that a wrap for tonight?
It is.
Do you want to go through some of the comments before we go?
Let's
say, because we want to say good night and farewell to everyone. So we want to do it in a way that says, don't get Annie, so Mr. Thomas, Mr. Taylor, sorry, mine was a bit blank then. Evening, guys, caught the end of the stream. Hi, Zoe. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks for coming on. It is the end, the very end of it.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Moya, I love you, Moya. Am I half left because the half of my hair is purple? You're half left and half right. Who do you vote for? You tried the other parties, now you're with the best advance all the way, is what Nikki says for you.
Well, thank you very much. People, what's going to comments here? What's this?
What's that saying?
People join late because of lagging notifications. A post and a reminder before you plan to do your show.
We do on.
Yeah, we do it. We do a reminder, but it also goes out on here as well. If you subscribe to the channel, if you press the bell that says notify me before we go live, you should get a reminder, an email, and a reminder prior. So please do that so you can not miss a single episode. We'll be back probably on Wednesday night. Is that right?
Yeah, Wednesday night. We are coming back with a vengeance.
And I think we might have a guest on Wednesday night.
We do.
We might have a guest on Wednesday night. No, it's possibly from the USA, from America. So you don't want to miss that. We'll announce that on our show here and let you know who that is. So just saying good night to everyone. Wishing you, what's this? Witching hour between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Yeah.
To keep your eyes shut.
Yeah. BFN, I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
No. But anyway,
guys, thank you ever so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for supporting us and listening to what we have to say. And I think,
as they say,
we've discussed. Can we just put our picture up again?
Let me just.
It is disgusting.
Yeah. So on that note, folks, this is how those on the left side of the argument like to betray us. Hey. And nothing could be further from the truth. I was saying to you in the car on the way to the studios when I picked you up tonight, I said that my grandfather fought against Nazi Germany, and he fought for the freedoms that we have today. So to see that, although it didn't affect me as much as the person put it out there thought it would do, we just thought we'd just show them up because we got their IP address. Have I said that yet?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, okay. But that's it, folks. Thank you for joining us. It's been a wonderful experience on a Sunday night roundup. Next Sunday night, of course, we're going to be going through all the news headlines with the banter, the usual dive into current affairs and politics rogue like we normally do.
And don't forget to look out for the poll on the community, and I will deliver the results.
Bye for now.
Bye.